A young boy named Eli Cheng runs to the roof of a building to release the tension inside him by screaming at the top of his lungs how worthless he is and how hard he should study to get into HKU, one of the top schools in Hong Kong. A couple of decades later, high school teacher Mr. Cheng rises early to catch the bus and arrive on time for school. His morning becomes stressful when he receives a message from his soon-to-be ex-wife Sherry, asking him to finish signing the divorce papers. Later that evening, a school cleaner finds a disturbing letter written by a student that details the author's depression and their intention to take their life and brings it to the principal's attention. The next morning, the principal calls a teachers' meeting to discuss the ominous letter and possible ways of handling the situation. During the meeting, the vice principal tried to play down the implication of the letter and proposed to keep it a secret as it might distract the students from the important public exams coming up. Mr. Cheng proposes to look into the letter to find out the author and provide them with the proper care and counseling with the help of the school psychiatrist Helena. Later that day, as Mr. Cheng conducts his lessons, the content of the letter that describes how worthless the author is, how they don't want to burden anyone with their existence, and how they would soon be forgotten once they're gone, plays over and over in the teacher's mind. That evening, Mr. Cheng goes to his apartment and tries to compare the handwriting on the letter with the one on his students' exam papers. As he keeps reading the letter which resonates with him, Mr. Cheng is compelled to go through his old childhood stuff. As the teacher finds and reads an old diary, he is taken back a couple of decades to the time he was in primary school. A couple of decades earlier, Eli attends the school's talent show where his younger brother Alan plays the piano exquisitely, with his proud mother Heidi Cheng and rich, stern father Chung Chi-hung. During the show, Eli observes how proud and happy his parents are and dreams of one day making them as proud. Later that night, as Eli discreetly reads Pirate, a comic book with inspiring advice about fulfilling dreams, in his bed, he hears his father's angry voice from the living room and goes to check out what's going on. Eli hides and watches his father screaming at his mother, slapping her, declaring that he owns everything, and criticizing her for having a stupid son. Eli becomes frightened, runs to his bed, and hides under the covers. After a few moments, Chi-hung enters the boy's bedroom and demands to know why Eli is still up. The next morning, having had a good night's sleep, Alan wakes up early and prepares for school as Eli struggles to get up. Eli manages to get up, prepare, and on his way to school, stops by a store to buy a diary, as he has heard that keeping a diary helps to be smarter and keep grades up. A couple of days later, Eli helps prepare breakfast for his family, and as they eat, he promises to study and do better in school to make it in the top 10 rank. His father tells him to aim for the top 15 and promises the family that he will take them to Disneyland in America if Eli can achieve this dream, and adds that he will give Eli as much pocket money as his brother, which excites everyone. Alan is not optimistic, but promises to help his brother study. A few weeks later, Heidi is informed by Eli's teacher that Eli has scored average grades in his exams, but that he has to repeat the grade. Heidi cries on her way back home, in fear of her husband's reaction. Later that night, a principal from HKU comes to meet with the family and get to know young Alan, who is qualified to enter the prestigious school. Alan, his parents, and the principal go out to dinner to discuss the amazing opportunity, while Eli is taken to a separate dinner by their maid, where he spends the time studying, desperately hoping to improve his grades. Later that night, Chae-hung learns of Eli's grades. The next day, Chae-hung scolds and belittles Eli for not playing the piano as well as Alan in front of his piano instructor, Ms. Chang, who comforts him by telling him that everyone has different talents in life. She then takes time out to support and teach Eli, which inspires him to become as good a teacher as she's when he grows up. Helena and Mr. Cheng reach out to a student named Bethany to see if she's the one who wrote the letter. Mr. Cheng drives Helena and Bethany to a tranquil hill and encourages the ladies to scream at the top of their lungs to let all their stress out. On their way back, Bethany thanks her teachers for caring enough to spend time with her and assures them that she's okay. Later that evening, Mr. Chung returns to his apartment, watches his wedding video, and thinks of Sherry and their failed marriage. He remembers how in love they were until the day they learned of Sherry's pregnancy. At first, both he and Sherry are excited about the news, but after a few hours of thinking about it, Mr. Cheng tells her that he's not ready to start a family, which forces Sherry to get an abortion and leads to their divorce. Then Mr. Cheng decides to write Sherry a letter in the old diary about the disturbing letter found at school and how deeply it impacted him as it resonates with the events that took place in his childhood. A couple of decades earlier, Eli discovers one morning that the author of Pirate has ended his life and becomes extremely upset. He arrives at school for a test, but becomes sick in the middle of it. His mother is called to the school to pick him up and is furious at him. On their way back to their house, Eli tells his mother that he has trouble sleeping at night, which results in exhaustion during the day, and asks her to take him to a psychiatrist. Heidi ridicules him and dismisses the idea. That night, unable to fall asleep, Eli turns and tosses in bed before he gets up to read Pirate. As he reads his favorite comic, he wonders what caused the author to take such a drastic measure, and wonders if it's because he failed to fulfill his dream and never became who he wanted to be. The next morning, the exhausted Eli, who is now in the same grade as his younger brother, is found sleeping in class. He is scolded and punished by the teacher as his classmates ridicule and make fun of him while he cries. As a result, at home, Ellie is in tears as he is made to give up all his favorite toys with a promise of getting new ones if he improves his grade. Due to Eli's lack of progress in learning how to play the piano, Ji-hung dismisses Ms. Chang and introduces Eli to his new piano teacher, who is as detached and as cold as his father, which upsets the young boy even more as he blames himself for getting the kind teacher fired. At present, while Mr. Cheng reads the old diary, he's informed that his father has been admitted to the hospital and rushes to see him. There, Mr. Cheng visits his father, and upon seeing that he's okay, he opts to leave early without sharing any meaningful time, despite being informed that the old man's condition is serious. On the way back, Mr. Cheng learns of upsetting news which forces him to think of his childhood. Decades earlier, Eli asks Alan for help with his studies, and in return promises to take him to a secret place to play. After studying, Eli first takes Alan to the store where they buy various toys using Alan's pocket money. He then takes his younger brother to the roof of a building and encourages him to scream at the top of his lungs to de-stress. Unfortunately, as the boys play on the roof, they are caught by the building manager who informs their parents. Heidi is furious with Eli. She scolds him and slaps him for endangering his little brother and making stupid decisions. She then forbids Eli from going on the family's upcoming trip to the USA, scheduled for the next day. The furious mother cruelly adds that she blames him for her marital problems and that she will disown him if he doesn't pass his grade this year, while Alan discreetly watches from afar. Later that night, Eli scaredly walks into his father's study and presents his father with a broom to hit him with. Ji-hung goes on a rant telling Eli that he won't amount to anything, that he has no talents, and even though he's just 10 years old, ridicules him for not having a plan for his future. As Eli cries in desperation, promising to study with Alan and do better, Ji-hung tells him that he has given up on him and that he won't beat him as he sees no point in trying to shape him. That night, Eli holds on to his sleeping brother and cries. He then continues crying as he writes a heartbreaking account of his young life and experiences on Earth in his diary. He writes that he's worth nothing, he will soon be forgotten after he's gone, and that his family will be better off. The young boy adds that he's always known that he won't grow up to be the person he wanted, and would not be successful as a teacher, as he probably won't pass this grade and never be able to play the piano properly. At the present time, Mr. Alan Cheng cries as he reads his older brother's diary and relives the horror of losing Eli. The Chungs and Alan's trip to the USA is cut short on learning Eli's fate. Ji-hung tells his family and friends that Eli has died of chronic illness to save the family from embarrassment. Mr. Alan Chang remembers Eli's funeral, attended by the guilt-stricken Ms. Chan. He also recalls how impressed he was by her care for her students, which inspired him to be a teacher. The tragic incident changed the family dynamic. Alan stopped trying to impress his father. After some time, Heidi got the courage to walk away from her abusive husband. Mr. Allen writes in Eli's old diary as he remembers how the events of his childhood caused him massive attachment issues and how lonely he felt until he met met Sherry. Decades earlier, high school student Alan meets Sherry and starts a relationship. The two grow to like each other and spend a lot of time together, but Sherry always senses that Alan is not happy. After a few months, Sherry moves away with her family, and the two go their separate ways until they reconnect a few years later. At present, Alan is informed that his father is in critical condition and rushes to the hospital to see him. There, the father and son finally have a final heart-to-heart and cry together, remembering Eli and what he went through. Alan runs into Sherry at Chi-Hung's funeral and gives her Eli's diary. Sherry reads the diary full of raw emotions, which helps her understand why Alan is so scared of starting a family. Sherry and Alan meet to frankly discuss everything for the first time in a long time. At the end of the year, as the students prepare to go on their study break before the public exam, in hopes of helping the author of the troubled letter and anyone facing problems, Mr. Allen shares with his students that he had a troubled childhood and gives them his number, should any of them need to talk to him. The author reaches out to Mr. Allen later that day, and the two meet up to have an open discussion. The movie ends as Alan returns to the roof he used to go to with Eli with flowers and is able to picture his late brother for the first time since his death.